My first study was motivated by my own concerns. My son started the school when he was 10. He was convinced that this was the right place for him, but I wasn't. I wasn't fully convinced. I mean, I was convinced that he had really been rebelling in public school. To him, it was very clear. It was no mystery to him that public school was a prison, and he simply wasn't going to stand for it. He absolutely wasn't going to stand for it, and he fought it every minute. And finally, he won the fight. And then we found Sudbury Valley for him. But I wasn't totally convinced. I went through the conventional schooling system. I'm a professor. I've gone through the steps. I wasn't fully convinced that you can successfully grow into adulthood in our culture without schooling as we traditionally conceive it. I at least was afraid that he might be cutting his options short, and so that led me right from the beginning, when we started the school, to begin to want to interview graduates of the school, see what they were doing, to see if they had any regrets about going to such an unusual school once they were out in real life. And eventually I did a formal study of the graduates, which absolutely convinced me that the school works as an educational institution. Nobody had regrets about going to such an unusual school, no matter how far out in life they were. People went on to college with no problems if they wanted to go into college. Many went into excellent careers in business and the arts and the crafts that don't require college, and they're perfectly well developed intellectually. They don't feel that they need the formality of college in order to learn. There's so many ways to learn. There's so many ways to get into fascinating discussions in this day and age, especially, that one doesn't need college for education. You only really need college if you need it to get a certain diploma because the society requires it. So, for example, those graduates of Sudbury Valley who decide that they want to become doctors know that they need to go to medical school, and although it may be possible, it's very difficult to get into a medical school without first going to a four-year college. So they prepare themselves to go to a four-year college, and they do that, and they do well, and then they go to medical school. So, what Sudbury Valley allows children to do is to play and explore, develop the basic abilities, the basic kinds of physical and social and emotional